Welcome back to the Coventry City View, and let's just applaud the Sky Blues. And I don't patronise any. What a game! We are going to, on this channel, talk obviously about the Blackburn View, but of course we're going to start talking about that Wembley trip. Claudio, first of all, on behalf of the whole footballing nation, just thank you. First of all, for making that such an entertaining game, but also sticking it to these big six. And shouldn't the final be Chelsea-Coventry?
Oh, I think so. In both games, the so-called underdogs were the better team in the end. And, well, maybe not so much the better team, but deserved to go through with the, I just think, I was watching it on Saturday and I thought, I can't believe if we have those chances, I hope we don't miss them. And of course, when we did get the chances eventually, we did put them away. But, you can't, we've done it so many times this season, you can't keep giving teams head starts and then trying to claw it back. It was similar to the Wolves game, but in the Wolves match, with the lineup we played, we held out till half time.
Yeah.
And then we changed it around second half and we pushed on. We proved in that match that with two or three players, maybe 4 or 5 players added to the squad, if we ever went up, there's enough about us to actually survive. I wouldn't say, be top half, but we definitely survive. I'm not showing.
No. I don't know if you've seen Roy Keane's bit after the game, but he actually said Coventry look like the Premier League side and United look like the Championship side.
It's amazing, isn't it? And a lot of teams like that. I mean, I know there's going to be discussion about Blackburn, but when they had their cup tie against Newcastle, they gave it a go, didn't they? And they showed then that if you're actually brave and commit people forward, and you're asking your defenders to actually defend and do a good job and let your forwards get forward, you can create problems. And I just wish we'd have done it earlier, because they showed yesterday, especially for the fans as well. It was just incredible. At the end of the game, it's hilarious. They played "Take Me Back, Take Me Home," Country Roads, which we use as an anthem anyway. And so we were singing it louder than they were. Yeah. But they'd actually left and they started playing "Glory, Glory, Man United." There was no United fans in the stadium. There's still full of Cov fans. 36,000 fans stayed behind to give our teams a well-earned round of applause and a cheer, because it's fantastic.
Yeah,
and it's the togetherness which I hope it just keeps carrying on. It was wonderful.
It was, and watching it on TV as it did, I could only hear Coventry City fans throughout the game. I think apart from when they scored, I generally couldn't hear United fans. The flags, we live and die in these towns, which seem to just be on repeat for the whole game. Credit to you. And did you enjoy the day out, regardless of the result? Was it the experience, something you'd look back on with fond memories?
I've been to a few games now with Coventry where we scored last minute winners, so we're used to it. I mean, that one season we had 13 and beyond 90 minutes, I think. So we are used to that. But yes, I thought the atmosphere outside the ground was superb. Inside, it was a great day. And the comeback, what was the thing that really made it, and the spirit, and the fact that a 3-0, I mean, I'll tell you now, if we'd have gone 3-0 up, half of the United lot would have left. Because even when we scored that supposedly non-winner, the only thing separating me to the United fans was the sheets in between us. I was right next to them. They just all started walking out. Hundreds walked out immediately. And I thought we wouldn't do that. We're not like that.
No. All right. Before we leave, then this has been a great journey, and credit to you. But we've got to talk about VAR. We've got to talk about the lines, the shoelace, the toenail, the edge of the boot. And we did say to you just before we left last week's video that VAR may play into it, and unfortunately, it did. Ultimately, the rules of the game say it's offside. Are you having that though?
No. I mean, I can't see how they can actually pinpoint the point that the ball leaves Callum O'Hare's foot to when Hadji is actually in the offside position, how they can actually line that up perfectly over such a short distance. And the fact that the referee's not given it, the lino's in line, he's not even flagged it. Even after we scored, he didn't put his flag up. So he's thinking, that's fine. Wan-Bissaka looks over his shoulder to look at the lino as well, and he thinks, "Oh no, I'm playing him on here."
Yeah.
So it's not clear and obvious. If it had been a yard ahead, fair enough. You think, he's offside, but it's not clear and obvious. And if we'd have had the team who was looking after the Everton Forest match, it'd have been a goal, wouldn't it? Because they saw absolutely nothing.
Now, don't drag us into your level. It's a sickener for lots of reasons. But if you were scripting that game as a Coventry City fan, as a young Coventry City fan, okay, you'd choose to play United.
Yeah.
You might choose to do this comeback. You'd script it absolutely as it went. Go down 3 goals, score in the 95th minute, whatever it was, to equalise.
Sean Bean gets a winner.
That's right. Yeah, take it to extra time and then score in the very last kick of the game. It is Roy the Rovers kind of stuff, isn't it?
Well, basically, it's the greatest ever FA Cup comeback that's never
happened. Yeah,
never happened, and also in our history would have been the greatest comeback ever, because who you're playing against, the fact it was over the last 20 minutes of the game as well. We got back to 3-3, not like a whole half or something.
Yeah,
it would have been extraordinary, wouldn't it? Really.
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen the bits that happened after the game yet. I just wanted to get your opinion on some of those. First of all, Ten Hag's interview, which I think is an absolute disgrace. He's absolutely called it out and said, no, it's not embarrassing, and that. I thought it was really unprofessional of him. But then Anthony, when the penalty is scored, runs across the Coventry players in the centre circle, cupping his ears, which I think I have a real problem with as a football fan. I just think, what are you doing? And why is not the captain grabbing him and going, "Oi, get down that tunnel"?
Well, let's face it, the captain's just as bad anyway. But fair play to Harry Maguire, who actually came over and shook all the players' hands. And I thought, that's a professional for you, because that's the guy who knows what it's like to play at our level. Yep. That's where he started, grassroots football almost. He's a proper professional, that guy, regardless what people think of him. And a hell of a header as well he scored. But as for Anthony, I mean, maybe he was cupping his ear to show his 2 little silly earrings that he wears. Before the game in the warm-up, he's got his earrings showing. It's like, oh dear. The guy's is a fake for the amount of money they paid for him, and I won't want him anywhere near Coventry City. Yeah. As far as I'm concerned.
And Mark Robbins did a fantastic speech interview afterwards. Very, very humble, very, very complimentary to the game as well. And we need more characters in there, to the point where there's a couple of radio phone-ins last night saying, could he be the next United manager?
Well, the worst thing about that game was Ben Sheaf in the second half, as in like performance levels. Van Ivak was absolutely tremendous down that right-hand side all game. And my lad was going, that's another million, that's another million, that's another million. Yeah. And then, and Tavares, who, I mean, if only he'd stayed on the pitch, because he was absolutely running riot. Wan-Bissaka couldn't handle him. Yeah. They totally, it just showed, and Torp was another one who came up, totally changed. I mean, that's the difference between the 2 managers. I think that's probably why they're saying, could he be the next manager? Because Robbins changed the game by the substitutions, whereas Ten Hag made a complete hash of it and took off probably their best player.
He did. Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's bring this back domestically then, shall we? We're recording this before the whole game goes out on Wednesday night. We're looking ahead to Blackburn. You are 9 points away from the playoffs with 2 games in hand. So beat Hull.
Yeah.
Beat Blackburn.
Yeah.
Beat Ipswich.
Yeah.
And it's back in your hands. Are we genuinely still talking about this, or can we let it go?
Oh, it is the hope that kills you, isn't it? Really, we all say as football fans. You got Hull. Are they out of the playoffs? Not. They're borderline, aren't they?
They have to beat you on Wednesday, otherwise it's all over. Yeah.
So we've got 2 teams with chances of getting something, and 2 teams who are trying to stay in the division, and us. So it's If it was a round robin, you expect us to win 3 of them at least, I think. And it's the Ipswich one I'd be more worried about.
Yeah. Hull have to win, otherwise the Norwich's goal difference is too much.
They've got some nice players. I mean, I predicted Hull to sneak into the playoffs because they've got some great forwards, and it depends just how tired we are, because that would have been draining. I mean, emotionally as well. It's going to be really tough. I mean, I could see 4 scruffy games, but I'm hoping, especially on Wednesday and then Saturday, there's enough in the crowd as well to get behind the teams, because it is, even as a supporters, it can be it's draining, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you're coming up against 3 teams in the next 3 games that need something. Hull need to win to get to playoffs. Blackburn need to win. Well, they need a point to stay up after their disaster show against Sheffield Wednesday. And of course, next week, Ipswich need to win to potentially say goodbye to this league. So if you're not at it, and if you're tired and you're not engaged, then this easily could slip into 3 losses on the spin, could it not?
Yeah, quite possibly. It's going to be really, really tricky, and it just depends how we can freshen it up in any way for Wednesday night. But the squad is what it is. It's not a massive squad. It's the thing that's probably killed us overall this season, I think, in the end. We just needed probably 3 or 4 more players, and it's going to be tricky.
Okay. All right, then. It's Blackburn is obviously one of the last away trips that City are going to do this year. It's the last official one anyway, with obviously Ipswich to come. Could you give us your highlight of the season on your away travels? You've nearly done most of the grounds, I think, or certainly you and your
I would say
your group have. What's been your highlight?
The Millwall away was good, because that's a really hard ground to get something. And we went there the second game when they had the new manager, after they had, I think, they won 4-0 the week before, didn't they? Sheffield Wednesday, I think.
Yeah.
And we thought, we're going to get a battering here. And we came away with, we scored 3 goals. I mean, we scored 3 at Middlesbrough, scored 3 at Sunderland. We scored 3 a lot of times, actually, away from home, and even the cup run. But no, the Millwall was a nice win away from home. And I enjoyed that. And it's at Millwall.
Okay. You seem
they think it's intimidating there, but it's not. They're just pussycats, aren't they? They're not lions at all.
You seem to have won more games when you've done 4-4, 1-1, and Ben Sheaf has been the captain. That seems to be the catalyst, certainly away from home anyway. That's certainly a model to look to next year and stick to?
I think he might do, but we probably need another couple of players who can play out wide. Sakamoto getting injured was a key, which is why he's gone back to this 3 at the back malarkey. I think if Sakamoto had been fit throughout the rest of the season, we'd have just stuck with the 4 at the back. It was a big loss.
And finally, your lowest point away from home is that what game have you driven away from or got back on the coach and thought, whew, stuck that game out?
Oh dear. We weren't very good at Bristol. We weren't very good at Preston. Preston away. Preston's always stink the place out. We can't do anything at Preston. Preston. Okay. That's pretty much when he changed it, I think, to 4 at the back in the second half. We were awful, absolutely awful.
All right. If you're a Coventry fan, thank you for obviously joining us on all the away trips, all the reviews we've done this season. Please put in your comments below what's been your favourite away game, and obviously what's been your low light. One more of these to do, Claudio, next week for the final home game of the season as well. So thank you so much for all your inputs. Thank you for sharing your Wembley journey with us. We felt we were all there with you yesterday. What a shame it has to end in the way it did, but
it was great to think that the whole footballing world, apart from the Manchester Reds, were behind us. And it was, I had a call from a friend who's a Sunderland season ticket holder who's watching in the club in Sunderland, and this summed it up. He says, when you scored what we thought was the winner, we cheered like it was Sunderland's winning goal. Yeah. And I thought, that's incredible. I never thought I'd hear that from a Sunderland fan.
No, absolutely. I was in a bar in Liverpool after the Everton game, and it was as loud as the cheer as it was if Liverpool had conceded against Fulham. It was brilliant. Yeah. Right. Thank you, Claudio. On to domestically. Good luck against Hull. Good luck against Blackburn. We'll catch you next week to review it all. Cheers, Claudio.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.